Hi, this is Anita Ramaraj. Now I am going to present the topic about Java servlets. Servlet, which is nothing but a server-side technology. Java servlet was established by Sun Microsystem, but now it's a product of Oracle. Servlet, which is not a part of SDK, but it's a part of Java to Enterprise Edition environment. Java servlet is a Java programming language class in the Java to Enterprise Edition. When the client asks for any request, it will generate an object and return as a dynamic response to the client regarding the client request based on the user requirements. In servlet, we have two main concepts. One is two methods: get method and post method. As a servlet is a communication between the client and server. When the client asks for any request, the servlet program will generate it and return as a dynamic response to the corresponding client request. At that process, we have two types of method implemented: get method and post method. Comparing to get method, post method has additional advantage of security features because get method was appended to the URL after the servlet as external data. But post method was not appended to the URL as external data. Post method was implemented in the real-time applications like authentication, username, password, login, like that. The next is about phases of servlet. In phase of servlet, we have two concepts. One is about translation phase, and another one is about execution phase. In translation phase, we have three main process. The one is about translation phase was the assessment of client side, and the execution phase was the assessment of a server side. In translation phase, we have a server and a servlet of HTML embedded Java code .class file, which might be assessed in the translation phase. And the execution phase, we have a memory buffer. Therefore, the output of the required dynamic response will be stored in the text buffer as a manipulated format. When the client asks for any request, corresponding the client request, the deployment descriptor will map the servlet, the small module of program, which is nothing but a HTML embedded Java code accompanied with a class file. This might be processed in the translation phase, and the next part, the second part, is about the execution phase, where the Java code run in the Java runtime environment. Then the output of that means the dynamic response might be stored in the text buffer, which is at a manipulated format. Therefore, it is written as a dynamic response to the client. Then the next is about common gateway interface. This is the pre-establishment of servlet. Therefore, common gateway interface have one or more disadvantages that which leads to the establishment of servlet. Common gateway interface, which is nothing but it is a generation of CJE script for the corresponding client request. That means it is a separate process. For example, when the client asks for any request, there will be a generation of CJE script for each client request. This might be leads to delay in process of receiving the corresponding client request. There will be a generation of separate CJE scripts. Then when the client asks for any request, there will be a generation of CJE script. The CJE script, which is nothing but a C, C++, Perl languages. Therefore, common gateway interface is platform dependent. For each request which might be copied into the memory, when any other client requests for the same request, therefore the generation of process will be assessed again and it's again copied into the memory. This will lead to the data unreliability. These are the main disadvantages in common gateway interface. Then therefore a servlet, which is additional advantage of security features too. In servlet, the next is about the servlet advantages over common gateway interface. Therefore, as I already told that common gateway interface have a separate process. Servlet is not about a separate process. It will lead as it have a concept of multi-threading and multi-process concurrency. So servlet is not a separate process. It is the first advantage. And the next is about data reliability. As we having a deployment descriptor in servlet, it might map the servlet small module of program to the corresponding client request and generate a dynamic response. Therefore, we have additional advantage of data reliability. Then other than that, we have a extra feature of sandbox in servlet. Sandbox, which is nothing but implemented in applet. Sandbox concept which describes that it avoid harmful servlets, and it also avoid software attacks from the legitimate users. By the implementation of sandbox, the client can receive efficient throughput regarding the client request. The next is about life cycle of a servlet. Life cycle of servlet, which is nothing but explains about the communication between the client server. We have three different methods in the life cycle of servlets. The first one is about init method, and the second one is about service, and the third one is about destroy. When the client asks for any request, before this init method operation, we have two concepts. One is initialization of object, and the other one is the preloading of the servlet. These two processes will be done before the init method process. Then after that, the init method will be initializes combined with the constructor. The next step will be the service method. When the client asks for any request, the deployment descriptor will map the servlet, the small module of program, for the corresponding client request. In that time, the service method will be initialized. In service method, we have three concepts: servlet context, and servlet configuration. The servlet, which is nothing but a small model of program, as I already told. Servlet context, which is nothing but a process which might be implemented during the generation of dynamic response accompanied with the servlet. Servlet configuration, which might be implemented when the client asks for any request. The web.xml which map the corresponding servlet, the small model of program, to the according to the client request. At that time, when the web browser implemented the servlet accompanied with the header information, at that time the servlet configuration process will be implemented. The next is about destroy method. After the assessment of servlet process, therefore browser or a server generate a dynamic response regarding the client request. After the completion of all the process, the servlet will wait on the URL for any other client request. If there is no client request achieved, then the destroy method will be initialized to unload the memory and to use the resources which might be used in the previous process. Therefore, the destroy method will be initialized. In whole life cycle of servlet, there will be init method and destroy method will be initialized once the whole life cycle of the servlet. After this three process, after the destroy method, the unloaded memory and the pre-assessment of the resources of the data which might be used regarding the previous client request will be garbage collected. The next is about servlet process. The servlet process, which nothing but explains about the communication between the client and server. We having four major roles in a servlet process. One is browser, and the next one is web server, and another one is web container or Java interface edition container, and next one is about deployment descriptor, which is also known as web.xml, and accompanied with a number of servlets. That means a small module of programs. When the client asks for any request, then the request will reach the web server for attain the resources regarding the client request. Therefore, it might be processed by the web container. Web container, which is nothing but a communication between the servlet and the server. Therefore, this process was checked by the deployment descriptor to map the servlet small module of program to the corresponding client request. This type of mapping of servlet to the client request is known as the servlet mapping. Therefore, then the next process is about after mapping the servlet to the corresponding client request, then the .class file, that means a class file might accompany with the servlet program. Then after that, there is a generation of dynamic response corresponding to the client request, then it might be reached the client. In servlet process, we have an additional concept of HTTP tunneling. HTTP process, which is nothing but a communication of HTTP and HTTPS protocol. HTTP tunneling, which is nothing but in HTTPS, we having a security feature of adding salt on 28-bit, but in HTTP, for that we are using HTTP tunneling. HTTP tunneling was achieved by a file catalyst, which is not a major part of code, but it will be a part of that object generation. File catalyst was implemented in HTTP tunneling. This might be achieved by adding the third module of UDP, FTP. After that, HTTP protocol will be added as a third module as HTTP tunneling. This process might be achieved for the secure data transformation on the internet, message transmission like that. That will be additional as a HTTP tunneling in a servlet process. Then the next is about web.xml. Web.xml. Web.xml, which is a major part of servlet we having, it is also known as a deployment descriptor. Web.xml is nothing but a communication between the servlet and the web container. Therefore, web.xml having the concept of servlet mapping. When the client asks for any request, as I already told that it map the corresponding servlet module program to the client request. It plays a major part of the role. Therefore, it might be reside in the webinf directory. Reside or compressed in the webinf directory. After that, it might be run by the Java execution phase. So in web.xml we have two type of deployment descriptor. One is about Java to Enterprise Edition deployment descriptor. Another one is about runtime deployment descriptor. In Java W deployment descriptor, it has a specific language. Language specification was implemented in Java W deployment descriptor. We want to implement Java language like that. But in a runtime deployment descriptor, it having the concept of platform independence. So we can run on any Java virtual machine. So for example, we take concept of sun web.xml. As I already told that web.xml, as a name as a web.xml, it has an implementation of .xml file, that means XML coding. But when we came to sunweb.xml, it is a product. It is not a concept of XML, but it is a product of Sun Glassfish server implementation. One of the server of servlet. So the next is about Servlet API. Servlet API. Servlet API is an important concept accompanied with compression of interface in classes. Servlet API is referred as a servlet application interface, which defines and describes the concept about, that means the communication about servlets and servers. So Servlet API. In Servlet API, we are having two packages. One is about generic servlet and another one is about HTTP servlet. Generic servlet is platform independent. We have a concept of platform independent. That means it can be programmed for any type of protocol, not like that HTTP, UDP, FTP like that. It can be programmed for any type of protocol. But HTTP servlet, as it named as HTTP servlet, is as a specification. That means it can be programmed only for HTTP and relation of HTTPS protocol. So as we want to implement generic servlet, we want to implement this. It can be implemented by using abstract class javax.servlet.star, and HTTP servlet can be implemented by using javax.servlet.http. When we came to define about HTTP servlet is to extend and inherit the properties of generic servlet. So we have a number of class and interfaces in both the generic servlet and HTTP servlet. First we are going to see about the class and interfaces which might be present in generic servlet. Generic servlet interfaces. Servlet request, servlet response, single thread model, servlet context, servlet configuration. So when we came to first interface of servlet request, servlet request which might be done on a client side. When the client asks for any request, any type of request, the servlet request interface might be implemented, should be implemented. Servlet response. Servlet response concept which will be implemented during the generation of dynamic response corresponding to the client request. At that time, servlet response interface will be implemented. Single thread model. Single thread, as it named a single thread model, when a client asks for any type of single type of request, the single thread model will be implemented. Servlet which is nothing but defined as a small module of program or application. When the generation of servlet, the servlet interface will be implemented. The next one is about servlet context. Servlet context, as it is a mapping of corresponding servlet program to the client request, the servlet context interface will be implemented. When the servlet configuration was implemented in the server, that means accompanied with the web container, at that time the servlet configuration concept interface will be implemented. Then we having four type of classes in generic servlet. Classes of generic servlet. Classes which is nothing but one is about servlet input stream. Then the next one is about servlet output stream. Then we are having two exceptions which might be present in the classes. One is about servlet exception and another one is about servlet unavailable. Servlet input stream. Servlet input stream, therefore in servlet we are having two main important classes of input and output process which might be which plays a vital role in the communication of client and server. So servlet input stream which might be implemented on the client side when the client request was sent to the server. Servlet output stream class which might be implemented during the generation of dynamic response to the client request. At that time the servlet output stream will be implemented. Then we have two type of exception. One is servlet exception and the next one is about servlet unavailable. Servlet exception will be through when the client and communication when the client and server communication was assessed. Therefore, there will be a failure of generating dynamic response. That means the failure of generating servlet. At that time, the servlet exception will be implemented. Servlet unavailable will implemented while during when there is no matching of servlet small model of program to the client request. At that time, the servlet unavailable exception will be implemented. Next, we are gonna see about HTTP servlet interface and classes. In HTTP servlet, we have an interface of HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response, HTTP session, HTTP session binding listener, HTTP session context, HTTP servlet request. When the process of client and server communication by using HTTP or HTTPS protocol, then the HTTP servlet request are done on the client side, and HTTP servlet response which might be done on the server side when the browser or server generate a dynamic response regarding the client request. HTTP session is nothing but session management by implementing HTTP protocol which having an additional security feature. When any client and server communicating regarding the sharing of any resources, there will be a time and the timer will be set regarding the client each request. So the time management will be maintained on the HTTP session. HTTP session binding listener. Therefore, to know the state of the bounded or unbounded state of the session to the coding, the listener will generate an object, that object which implements this interface HTTP session binding listener to know the state of bounded or unbounded state of the session. HTTP session context which is nothing but that means it gives the information about the HTTP session process that might be assessed between the client and the server. Therefore, we are having three types of classes which might be present in HTTP servlet. The one is about cookies and the next one is about HTTP session binding event And the third one is about HTTP utils. Cookies. Cookies, which is nothing but it is a client-side storage. It having a concept of reusability. At the time when the user want to use the previous assessment of any request, that means a temporary storage as it is a cookies, that want to use the previous assessment of any type of request, then the cookies will be implemented, cookie class will be implemented. HTTP session binding event, which is nothing but the class which might implemented during the state of session. Therefore, the server will return as an event to the client to know the state of session. Therefore, HTTP util packages is nothing but, for example, date, time, static variables like that, to know that process HTTP util class was implemented in HTTP server. The next one is about servlet architecture. Servlet architecture. So it explains the whole process, whole concept about the servlet that might be accessed during the communication between the client and server. As we have three type of interfaces implemented as a first process: servlet, servlet configuration, and serializable servlet. Servlet, as I already explained more about, it extends the functionality of web browser and server. Then it is a server-side process, communication between the client and server. So at that time the servlet interface will be implemented. Servlet configuration during the generation of small module of application of program, the servlet configuration, that means at the time of generation of dynamic response to the client, the servlet configuration will be implemented. Serializable. Serializable is the main concept, that is it means the persistent of storage of the coding of a program that might be accessed by the user. When the user done a process of coding regarding the any type of the server or done a process of coding regarding the any type of client request, the serializable interface will be implemented for the persistent storage or temporary storage. At the time of the execution, if you want to deserializable the required coding, so you want to implement a deserializable interface in the required coding. The next process will be the to use the packages which might be present in the generic and HTTP servlet. We are implementing generic and HTTP servlet as we are having a number of class and interfaces. Generic servlet, which might be programmed for any type of protocol as it is a platform independent. HTTP servlet you have a specific because it might be programmed for HTTP and HTTPS protocol. Then we have an additional concept of servlet chaining and servlet collaboration in servlet architecture. When multiple process concurrency, which might be achieved by servlet, was implemented in servlet, then for example, when the first client asks for assume it as first type of request 1, name it as 1. First request, there will be the generation of dynamic response achieved by the server output. This output will be binded or piped to the second request, and it will be continued up to the last client request. That means the generation of last servlet will be bounded to the web browser. Then the required output was sent back to the client. This process was named as a servlet chaining. Servlet collaboration is nothing but when a number of clients handled by servlets there will be a common server to share the resources and data. This type of process, that means multiple process, might be achieved by the servlet collaboration. The next one is about session. Session, which is an important concept in a servlet. Session is nothing but a request for assessment of single client and communication, client and server communication process. For each type of client request, there will be a generation of session ID. Due to this session ID, we are having a additional advantage that when any other client asks for the same type of request, there is a concept of session tracking. Therefore, if the other client want to use the same type of request in the process, therefore there will be a separate session ID for each request. By using that session ID, therefore the other user can achieve the same assessment of the previous process or the previous resources. Other than that, session has two concepts. The one is about session migration, and the second one is about session hijacking. Session migration. Session migration, which is migration, as it named as migration, the moving from one part to another. So when there is a server, during the client and server communication, when there is a server failure during that client and server communication, therefore another server will take the process of that second type of client request. Therefore, this type of moving a part of small module of that means a servlet from one server to another is known as a session migration. Session hijacking. As we having a concept of session ID in session, we having a disadvantage that if any other legitimate user want to use the resources of the previous assessment of the program, by using the session ID we can track the previous assessment of the program. Therefore, the legitimate users might achieve the previous resources from the server. This type of concept is known as session hijacking. To know the state of the session in the program, that means to know the bounded state of the session in the program, we are having two concepts: HTTP session. By implementing HTTP session space session, exception of true. If you implement like that, if there is session bounded to the program, then it will be written as true. If there will be unbounded state of session, then it will create a new session and it will be processed. To know the unbounded state of session, give session of false. If there is an unbounded state of session, if the session process is already achieved in the coding, then it will use the reference object of the previous assessment of the program and it will return to the client. Otherwise, it will return as null. Therefore, the next concept is about cookies. Cookies, as it names cookies, we have an important concept that it having a process of persistent storage. That means a temporary storage. As session is a server-side process, cookies is the client-side storage. That means the client-side request which will be completely, and the process also which will be completely saved on the cookies. Cookies which is nothing but a session management. That means communication between the client and server. Cookies have the concept of reusability. That means it might be implemented for the client convenience, user requirements convenience. If one user achieve the process and get the dynamic response from the server, if any other user want to achieve the same request, that means they also want to use the same type of resources, then we can search in the cookies and we can attain the same type of resources. Therefore, reusability concept was implemented, which is the additional advantage. Storage of data regarding users request. That means we can use the users data also by implementing cookies. As I already told that we having packages in HTTP servlet and the NB servlet. Then if you having a multiple number of website with a login authentication, the username and password which will be stored in the memory as a cookies. By implementing cookie concept as an interface. Then we have a cookie application interface which might having a number of class and interfaces. Then how can we create cookie? Cookie might be created by the cookie constructor. We having three types in that. By creating value or object, by with the implementation of strings, and also with expressions or operators. So, the next is about servlet context. As I already told that the process of servlet context in servlet architecture and both in servlet process. Servlet context, which is nothing but for entire web application, there will be only one server to share the resources. That means during the deployment of web application, there will be one servlet context for the entire web application, and the process can done by sharing of servlet context. That means when a multiple process concurrency or a multi-threading or a multitask concept was implemented in a servlet with a number of client requests, there will be a single server to share the resources. Therefore, the multiple clients can share the resources by implementing a servlet context in servlets. The next is about features. In servlet, as we are having a new version of servlet 3.0, we are having a features like pluggability, ease of deployment, the development. That means when a user, based on the user requirements, the developer can develop the code as it can ease to deployed and executed, and to satisfy the client requirement regarding their user basis requirement. Then we have a security purpose, additional security purpose by implementing do post method, get post method. By implementing post method, therefore it might be implemented for real-time applications like banking, any other type of authenticated websites. So by implementing post method, therefore the required data which might be not append to the URL after the servlet, therefore in that time we can achieve the security purpose by implementing servlet. Then file uploading, and the next is about advanced annotation methods. Annotation, which is a main tool which might be implemented in a servlet 3.0 version. In servlet 2.0 it is as a tool, but in annotation in a servlet 3.0 it is as a ready-made product. Therefore we can deploy the annotation directly in the servlet 3.0. Annotation we have, which might be denoted as @ we have three types in that: override, suppression, and the override, which is nothing but if you want to if you implemented override like this in coding by replacing any other concept in the body of the coding, then the required concept was override than the previous. By implementing the override, suppression, which is nothing but the compressing or suppressing the error debugs which might be present in the coding. Therefore, by implementing suppression, we can achieve the efficient throughput regarding the user requirements. So servlet, as I already told that it is a communication between the client and server. We implementing servlet mainly for the business logics and the controlled operation. So by implementing servlet, we can achieve the security advantages. We are having additional advantage of annotation method, ease of development, pluggability, and the security features. So it might be implemented in the Java to Enterprise edition. So it is a server-side technology, and as I already told that we are having a post method for the additional security features. So it have a main concept of security features and the new added advantage of annotation. And by implementing servlet, regarding the user requirements, it might be implemented for mainly for business logic. Therefore, it has a inexpensive. Therefore, we can get a free servers based on the servlet, then it is also portable. So thank you.